Hey, it's your boy Edwin Aldrin, and we will be talking about a social issue here in the Philippines. So, let's get on it! We'll be talking about what, how, when, where it began, its effects, pros and cons, lessons, and what to do in order to avoid contracting the virus. So, what is the cause of the new normal? Where did it spread? How did it begin? And when did it begin? So, the first thing we will talk about is how did it begin? It began by the spread of a deadly virus. Some say it was from a mammal, a certain species of bats. Some also say in conspiracies that it was a cultivated biological weapon of some sorts, and it was by accident that they spilled it. At least that's what I heard from conspiracies. But let's not talk about conspiracy. Let's talk about the science part, or should I say the medical part. What is the cause of this pandemic? Medically speaking, it was almost the same as the coronavirus that struck in the Middle East, which came from the Coronae family. Coronae or corona, because it's shaped like a crown. Well, anyway, it was almost the same, just a different strain or type of the coronavirus, which is named as SARS-CoV-2. 2 because the first was in the Middle East. So we already know how and what is the ignition of this virus and issue. So when and where did the virus originated? The virus began spreading in December 2019 at the province of Wuhan in China. When we talk about Wuhan, it's the center of, what do you call this, foods that are not really present on us. What do you call it? Exotic foods. So when we talk about exotic foods, they are not just pork meat, chicken meat, not the usual thing we eat. We ask, how can some virus originate in Wuhan? What possibly could Wuhan did to be able to make a deadly virus like that? Was there a nuclear waste disposal facility there? Or was there a biological weapon testing site? Sort of military site? Some sort of that? Or anything that's against the military something. We all know that China and the US are fighting. Maybe because China is threatened by the United States in terms of military power, they are cultivating biological weapons. Oh, here we are again talking about conspiracies. So, but we may not know. Because how can stories brought up if there is no some kind of information in it? Let's continue. So, from the family of coronavirus to the MERS-CoV in the Middle East to a new strain of coronavirus called SARS-CoV-2. And then, it is called novel coronavirus in December 2019, and then evolved in a disease called COVID-19. We have already talked about the what, when, where, and how did the virus occur, or this new normal occur. Now, let's talk about the effects and cons or the negative side. Now, we are on the part of how did our government acted when they found out there is a ravaging potential pandemic. Because potential I say here because they were not able to know first. They did not know immediately. But when did we have our first case in the Philippines? It was January 30, 2020. And what did we do? Nothing. Yes, nothing. Because it was just only one single case. But then, at the 7th of March, so how many months or days was it? Almost 2 months. Yes. We had our first local transmission. So what do we mean by local transmission? Local transmission means the spread of the virus in a certain household or cluster of individual groups, groups of individuals. That's what we mean by local transmission. So how did we act? We only implemented quarantines after a week. Yes, only after a week. Imagine that. The free movements of the infected individual. How many did it infect? Don't know. So let's go to its cons or negative side. The cons or the negative effects of the virus that cause lockdowns, quarantines. First is cases of the disease, of course. Case increased massively. The Philippines alone has 258,000 cases with 4,292 deaths and 187,000 recoveries. So, the recoveries and the cases is not that far behind. But that is just the Philippines alone, which is the first in Southeast Asia in terms of mortality rate in a million. Well, the whole world has 28 million cases with almost a million deaths and almost 19 million recoveries. That is the most major effect of the disease, the cases. But how about the aftermath of quarantines caused by the disease? Jobless individuals. Jobless individuals resulted into famine, no food, because there was no money to buy food. Malnutrition, because of unemployment. The population experienced malnutrition and still experiencing it as of now. Now, we know hunger or famine and unemployment. Let's talk about our population. It has been reported that wives are being raped during the quarantine and no birth control use. The disease brought up many problems, not just one single major problem, even though we are combating the major problem, the disease itself. But the minor or the little things is breaking our country down in the shadows. Namely, our economy, livestock, farming, mental health, and more. We are slowly losing our resources and steadily plummeting or going down. But we are to focus on cons. Let's talk about its pros. We have been talking about too much cons, negativity. Now let's talk about the positive cause of the virus. Positive effect of this pandemic. Even though we are in a pandemic, there is still good something happening. It may not be seen because we are too focused worrying on the negative things. First, since we started the quarantine, we have been with our family. Yes, we have been with our family. Second, we took care of ourselves more than before because we are afraid on contracting the disease. Third, we improved ourselves. We got through our insecurities, fears, pain, and many more because we finally had a break or a rest. Last but absolutely not the least, we often called the Almighty. We reconnected with Him. Yes, we're connected with the Almighty God. Thanks to this pandemic, now, do we realize how important God is? How can a bad thing used as a form of changing or learning a better good? We had just been too focused on the negative things and forget the positive effect of this pandemic. So, now talk about the negative side and the positive side. So, I beg of you, I ask everyone to stay home. Everyone who is gonna watch this video or watching it right now, stay safe. Please don't add up on the hospitals. We cannot anymore afford dead medical practitioners. We should avoid populated areas, follow protocols, and we have to go out to buy food or any needs. Bring and use your mask. Also add face shield if there is. And if you arrive at your home, change your clothes and take a bath. And when you're done taking a bath, you must not touch your mouth, nose, and when you're sneezing, use your shoulders. And for surely avoid the disease, use alcohol and frequent hand washing with soap for 20 seconds. So, let me share to you my learnings in this new normal. If I may share my learnings or realizations and things that happened and happening due to the disease, I might say I learned a lot, and it's considerably made my outlook in life change. First, is that money is not the only wealth in this world. No. The true wealth is health. It's what they say, health is wealth. Second, we need more medical practitioners, and we should focus more on health than the military. Third, salaries of the medical practitioners should increase because they really deserve it. They are there fighting the disease. Frontliners is what they call them. Fourth, military might is nothing against biological might. Fifth, last, and for me, this is the most relatable struggle in my life as of now. Schooling is very difficult. So, when we are given the chance to study, please, I beg you, study well, grab it. And that's it. That's all for my vlog. Thank you for watching, and peace out.